You guys want to see something vintage while I'm really washed out. This is from like 2016 when I had like 18,000 subscribers and I thought I could sell t-shirts. It's got the old Mark V on the back there. Anyway, I sit in this chair now, let's talk. I don't usually push social media too much, but we're just about 650 followers away from 10,000 on Instagram, which would allow me to add the swipe up feature to my videos. So if you're not following me on Instagram yet, it's IgnitionTube YT. It's got a picture of the old GTI there. Wow, okay. Just do me like that. Figured I'd start this video off with something a little bit interesting. I was going through an SD card the other day and I found some lost S4 footage. Lost it, I just never published it on the internet. This was actually when I first got the S4, some hack job had clear bra'd the car and straight up cut on the car. So here's us taking the clear bra off. Now today what we're gonna do is start the process of peeling the clear bra off my fender. Now if you're wondering why I'm peeling the clear bra off my fender and you missed my walk around video, they actually cut the clear bra, if we can get a little focus here, they cut the clear bra around the badge, which is an absolute hack job. So I'm gonna take that off, we're gonna polish the fender. There are actually knife marks in the fender from where they cut this, which hurt. So my buddy Chris is gonna come by later and help me get those knife marks out. But the first step is gonna be getting this clear bra off. When we pull it back, oh, I broke it. You can clearly see in there, right there, there are some knife marks in this paint. As you can see, it's pretty good. There's still some scratches there. We're probably gonna have to wet sand it to fix all of it, but what can you do? So, the first one is new SQ5 videos, and actually I've had a couple people ask me that. I really don't know what else there is to film on the SQ5, and that's part of the reason why I've considered selling it, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So, I mean, you guys let me know, what else do you want to see on the SQ5, but there's really not any other modifications that we can do. My vision for it is pretty much complete. I mean, we could do the typical YouTuber thing and wrap it a different color, but I don't see any benefit to wrapping the car, and I wanted it in Sepang Blue. It's in Sepang Blue, why would I do it another color? I mean, it's definitely been a blast to build, and the car's freaking awesome. I still want to take it to the track, so that'll be a video that's coming on the car, but there's really not that much else left to do on it. When am I going to donk a GTI? That's a great question, and if you caught the end of last week's video, I was actually going to put the 21s from the SQ5 on the GTI. The diameter of the SQ5 wheels is actually bigger than the GTI arches. Will I paint or wrap the GTI? If you guys are just tuning back in, if you skip the past 3 videos, the Mark VI is actually in pretty rough condition as far as paint goes. I definitely am considering wrapping it. Plans for the GTI, track, stance, drag, or daily? None of the above, if that makes sense. I covered this a little bit in my why I bought this GTI video, but this is just gonna be a fun street car. It's not gonna be a daily, that's what the SQ5 is. It's not gonna be a track car because I have no interest in tracking besides, you know, maybe going on the drag strip. I'm not gonna stance it because then I can't run my 245 R888s that I have over there. And I'm not gonna build it into like a dedicated drag racing car because then I'll just start breaking a bunch of stuff and throwing even more money at it. So it's just designed to be a fun street car, and I think that's about it. What do I do for work? I run paid media for FCP Euro currently. What type of upgrades would you have been doing if you still had the S4? That's a great question. I wouldn't still have the S4, I'd have an S6 now. I actually never planned on buying the SQ5 until I crashed the S4 and didn't feel like with a baby on the way, I had enough funds saved up to responsibly buy an S6 and also live inside of my means, just because I could afford the car. They were similar prices, the S6 and the SQ5, but the maintenance and the potential problems on the SQ5 are much fewer and much cheaper than potential maintenance and problems on the S6. So if I still had the S4, I wouldn't have the S4, I'd have an S6, if that answers your question. B9 S4 next. I've thought about it. I'm not quite sure. I guess this is probably a good time to address my kind of next car plans. The reason I posted on Instagram about potentially selling the SQ5, and the real reason why it's been crossing my mind, is I'd love to do adult things and actually, you know, potentially buy a house and stop renting an apartment. And in order to do that, obviously freeing up capital is kind of the name of the game. So I was thinking about selling the SQ5. I have a lot of money in this car. Even with some of the sponsored stuff, I added it up. there's almost the purchase price of the car in modifications on it. So that's pretty crazy. And parting it out and eventually selling the car and also selling some of the parts off of it would definitely be a way to recover some of that cost. And obviously I could put then that money into a different build for the channel. I was thinking probably something from Volkswagen in like the $15,000 range, and then free up capital from essentially having a car that's half the price of the SQ5 and also being able to sell off some of the mods. Obviously I do new mods to the new car, and that also benefits me as far as the channel goes, because this car has served its purpose on YouTube and now it's just serving its purpose in real life. So to potentially move into something else that not only works for me in real life because it's freeing up capital, but also works for me on YouTube because I get more content out of it, is not an unappealing idea. The only downside is you guys don't seem to like the Volkswagen content because the Mark 6 videos have not been doing as well as I expected them to do. My concern is if I buy another Volkswagen and get completely out of the Audi game, I lose all of my Audi followers. So it's going to be a balancing act, and there are a lot of you who just kind of follow me no matter what I do, and for that I'm greatly appreciative. But trying to think bigger and kind of what will grow my channel and what will ultimately allow me to be successful on YouTube, as well as financially stable and making sure I'm living inside of my means. I think YouTube has come to a point where you're expected to buy a new car every 6 months, and the reality is that while that'd be really cool and I could probably swing that for a little bit, it makes more sense to save that capital and ultimately put it towards buying a house versus buying a bunch of different cars that depreciate a lot and just throwing money down the toilet. The reality is I just don't make enough off of YouTube to make that worthwhile of you know, hey, I lose, you know, $5,000 every time I buy a car every 6 months. I'm not making back $5,000 on YouTube every 6 months, and you know, then you have taxes and stuff like that on top of it. It's just not, it's not realistic. Also, one of you commented on the last video that I seemed sad. I'm definitely not sad, and if my somber tone in this video is also taken as me being sad, it's just because when I talk loud, the garage echoes even more. I'm sure you've noticed an echo already, but when I talk at this volume, it doesn't quite echo as much. So just kind of keep it a little lower key. I hope you guys don't mind that. It's also kind of rainy. It's just the vibe of the day, you know. Let's keep rolling here. In hindsight, would I still have bought the S4 or should I have gone straight to SQ5? I kind of answered that already, but the SQ5 was never the plan. I kind of accidentally stumbled upon one of the, in my personal opinion, one of the best models in Audi's lineup. So I still would have bought the S4 because that's what I wanted at the time, and that's what made sense for me at the time. Will my current SQ5 setup pass smog? My inspection is due in February. We'll see. Exhaust plans for the Mark 6, spoiler alert, AWE baby. Did I keep any parts from the S4 for memories? Well, funny you should ask. Let's take a trip into the basement and I will show you guys what I have from the S4. Well, I'm okay to show you guys this now because I just cleaned it up, but it used to be an absolute mess down here. That's my son's Power Wheels. He can't quite reach the steering wheel yet, and it's remote control, but he has another car he likes. So we'll get this out of the way for a second. Things that I kept from the S4 actually are all in this little bin. So we had some stickers, this magnetic mount fog light bulb apparently, this CTS turbo boost tap that was running with the P3 gauge, and also obviously the vacuum line from that. Some more stuff. Some hardware for the JHM downpipes that I never used. The wheel locks. And I think the most interesting thing I actually recently threw out. These are actually the Audi rings off of the trunk. I never put these back on after I wrapped the car, so I guess that kind of has some value. I actually do have the V6T badges off the fenders. I have both of those in here. Well, in this box, until recently when I cleaned up down here, I had the broken pieces of carbon fiber from the front of the car, the fog light overlays that I had, and I actually recently just threw those out because I kept reaching in this box to like find stuff, and I'd end up getting splinters of carbon fiber in my hand. So I would have loved to kept those, but those are gone. This is cool. This is the thing that they pull off the car when they tow it. And I got to keep it. I pulled it off the car myself. So this is still wrapped in the Gloss Storm Gray. Who is the coolest 4Runner owner I know? That would be Miss Pink Star Jess on Instagram. Do I have time for Mexico soon? I barely have time to film YouTube videos, so probably not, James. Sorry. Will the SQ5 be sold soon? We covered that, but I appreciate you asking. That just about wraps up all the questions. If you guys have any more questions for me or anything else you'd like to learn about plans for the Mark 6 or anything like that, leave them down below. I'll reply to as many as I can. I have a bunch of parts in the basement and inside the front here that my parents have been nagging me about to get out of their house and into my apartment. Those are all for the Mark 6. So that will be a good thing for sure. We have a lot of content coming from the Mark 6 and I really hope you guys stick around for it. I do think it will be interesting and fun. The car is going to make some serious power. We'll probably run it at the drag strip to get the SQ5 to the drag strip. You know, just finding time these days. Spending a lot more time with my family thanks to COVID, which is a great thing, but it also means that I'm not getting out of the house as much, and in order to film a video I usually have to get out of the house because my cars don't fit inside my apartment. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in and for supporting me. As always, thank you guys for watching. Go out there and spread some positivity, and I will catch you guys in the next video.